Well, since the last bit of taping, we've made some progress with the tape deck. The main thing is we've now built the framework which supports the whole thing and accepts the rack glides so that we can push it back. So here we go. Rather nice. And we've found these very nice little buttons. They came from RS, amazingly affordable as well. And that releases the unit so it can be pulled out, because in use it'd be in and out like a yo-yo. So using bay bolts aren't the thing. So those catches are quite nice. So one of the interesting challenges was the amount of space. This is quite a big deck and it fits in a standard 19-inch bay with no room to spare. Here is a standard nab spool, and I'll pop it onto the deck just like that, and you can see here there is perhaps 3mm to spare, and as I push it in, watch just there, and again not much room, but a little room is all it needs so it doesn't catch when it's rotating. That's the striker plate which we've had to make, and that's the prototype. We're going to make a nicer one, but the prototype works just fine, and as I push that in you'll see it engages nicely. I was quite pleased with that. Here is one of the two record replay amplifiers. It's missing its front panel, which is over there. The front panel comes off so you can access the myriad of preset controls. But on the back, just there, there's a nice little headphone socket, and we've decided that we'll extend that socket to a jack on the front of the deck. So that lives in there, and its friend lives underneath, and the cable will go round the back along under here and to two jack sockets just there. That's one of them. This is a standard EL3503 jack, and we'll mount two of them there like that. If I put it down upside down it doesn't fall over, and you can imagine it's the right way up. One for each amplifier. And so this is the front panel, and there's a switch goes there, and you can monitor the input and the output, and it feeds the headphone socket which we mentioned previously, and that will enable us to use that control, and that's the volume control for it. On the other side here is the record gain for the line and the record gain for the microphone input. Now we've achieved a fair degree of progress with the tape recorder assembly, and it's ready to go back into MCR21. We have to take it apart because it's far too heavy to lift as it stands. Now that was a bit of new, and here's a bit of old. The first step in disassembling the tape recorder assembly is to remove the amplifiers. Now if you imagine when it's in the van we won't be able to get at this top area, so we've designed it so that the amplifiers will pull out of the front with just enough wire so that they can be disconnected thus. And this is a sort of a four-handed job. Maybe it's a five-handed job. I'm stuck. That was fiddly, but here is the amplifier ready to put to one side to go in when we've carried it all upstairs. While I've got these out, we're still searching for this rather old-fashioned mains plug. We need to find 2 more. One of our volunteers has promised to send me 1, so if that turns up that'll be good, but we'll still be 1 down. There we are. The next stage will be to remove the tape deck. That's really heavy. I'd take it there.
Okay, we've got quite a bit more to go, haven't we?
You've got the back half.
I've got the back half.
And away it goes.
Yes. Okay. You're not wrong about it being heavy.
Heavy and awkward.
Heavy and awkward. On its side?
Yes. Okay. Well, no, the tape spools will fall off. But stupidly, I didn't remove them.
Right. Okay.
And now it's much lighter and ready to go up.
Okay, so where are we going to grip this? At the top or halfway down?
Well, just where it's convenient. Let's turn it.
Turn it.
Turn it. Turn it.
Turn it. Oh, I'm nicely at the centre of gravity there. That's
and up.
making sure we don't chip the paintwork. Right. And a bit of jiggling
to get it over the slit.
That's it, and we're in.
Having wriggled and jiggled the back, we've now got it back in its proper place, with perhaps as much as 0.5 millimetre to spare on either side. This is one of the fixing bolts which we'll use to locate the front. And sort of in.
Oh, cable.
Cable. Oh, that was easy, wasn't it?
Well, that 5th attempt.
Shush, that was first time that was.
The headphone socket is the lower one, we said. Line out. Can you move it just a bit closer? The mains.
Mitts spanner.
And closer, 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 closer. And in it goes. Hopefully those wires haven't snagged, have they? They've gone on that plate. Do you remember the plate we put in?
Yeah. Okay, that's in.
Ready to be bolted in?
Yeah. Yep. Okay, after lunch.
After lunch. After lunch.
Right, these washers have got a bevel on them. There's the front side of it. The bevel's that part on there. So I'm now going to put the bolt through the washer, and then we've got to get it lined up. Get the middle one in the hole first. This secures the unit into the rack, and once that has been achieved, we then put the front panel on and put the other screws on, followed by all the controls. So it's now time to find another thing of the same type. And the other side. We also do the fitter's trick here, where we put all the bolts in first, get it all jigged up before we do it all up, and that way hopefully it all goes together nicely.
Paul, when you were last doing labels, Did do one called PL36 and PL41 to go on the back panel here?
Ooh, well, we'll have to have a rummage in the label
Box.
which is over here somewhere, isn't it? So finally we've got the mains connector going in and the audio in and out connectors, one of which also carries the remote stop-start command from the sound desk.
Right. Now, at this point you'll see it's not working. That's because we haven't operated the magic remote switch on the sound desk.
Works. 1, 2, 3, go.
No. But we've operated the switch on the sound desk, and when I press play it should go. That's rather reassuring.
Let's double check. I'll go and operate the switch on the sound desk and it should stop.
Yes. That stopped. And on again. I'm going to listen at the jack first. Because I know the headset works. It worked a moment ago. And that's tape output 1. Ooh,
That's a bit urgent.
that's loud. So that is full line level, or deafening level if you like. So we'll put that into amplifier 1 and we'll turn the balance control there, and that to low and that to down to there. Oh, something's happening.
Of Gibraltar. They then put it to us in a referendum, and if we don't want it, it won't be implemented, but it will remain the British and the Spanish government's position, so that as the Spaniards point out to their...
Well, the sound's coming out, but I'm not entirely happy with it.
Quality.
I don't think that sounds distorted. Well, we've made some progress today. We've got the tape recorder and its rack installed in the rack, and when I operate the switch it will play. And I'll fade it up.
Which should not be mistaken for privatization.
And I can fade it out. So we're quite pleased with the day's work. All that remains is a spot of painting to tidy it up, and that will be job done. In conversation with the volunteers here, talking about string and sealing wax as you do, it occurred to us that this switch hasn't operated the tape recorder for a very long time. And doing a little bit of rough and ready counting, we reckon it hasn't operated the tape recorder for half a century. How about that?